Just a few weeks ago, I featured Kristina Tkach on the Rack of the Week, and wouldn't you know it, she just won the 14-1 championships in Norfolk, Virginia. So should we feature Kristina again so soon? You bet we should. Let's get into the racks. This rack is early in the finals, and Kristina has a pretty tough angle. It's a very high break ball. Cue ball is close to the rail. She's just going to want to hit this softly enough to knock a few balls loose from the other side of the rack here. She wants to avoid scratching cross side, which she did. So that's an excellent result at first glance. There's more than 4 or 5 balls open, but when you look at it, she got a little unlucky. Normally, you're going to end up with a nice easy shot here, or maybe the cue ball comes here and you have an easy shot in this pocket. So we're going to see the first example of tenacity here, because where are you going to play safe? It's really hard to play safe anywhere. And so she's looking at this combination. That's the only shot. So sometimes in straight pool, you're forced to shoot this combination, a combination shot that you would never play position for, but it's your only option. So you've got to give it your best effort. She's taken aim at this combination twice now. The nice part about it is she doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball. The cue ball is going to go to this rail. She'll probably have a shot on this stripe or the 7 ball in this pocket. So not much to do with the cue ball. That means you can hit it softly, which makes the pocket bigger for the 6. So very careful aim on this shot. This is her opportunity to keep this rack going and not let Karen Core to the table. Good shot. You notice that the 6 ball brushed this rail going in. And at that pocket speed, the ball went in the pocket. So it's a very well played shot. You see Kristina eyeing the 7 ball. Her other opportunity would be to cut this stripe, but the cue ball is going to run into the 1. You might tie something up. This is the correct shot. The cue ball is going to open these, and you have an insurance ball back this way. Or this ball could be an insurance ball. Now, she hit that a little harder than I would have, but I like that in the sense of it's a positive stroke. When you try and baby the ball too much, you can kind of get a tentative stroke, and sometimes you don't go straight through the ball as you would want to. And I'm going to try and let these 2 racks play without stopping them too much. Real good shot there. She didn't baby the ball. It was a nice positive stroke. She kind of made a little bit of trouble right here, but she made sure to get the cue ball free. She's got a shot on this 2 ball. Now, the 4 ball obviously is going to be the break ball. There's 2 up table balls. And then the break ball is kind of surrounded. These are an issue. You got to deal with those somehow. And I believe, if I remember correctly, she tries to deal with it now, because if you can kind of do a little stun draw and send the cue ball over here, you don't have to hit these hard. Just tap them and loosen them up, and you've got an insurance ball back this way and possibly this way. So in my opinion, that's what she was trying to do. But we're going to see a little more tenacity coming out here, because once again, what shots do you have? You're elevated to shoot the 9 ball or the 3 ball. You've got a combination shot probably on the 14-10. That's a little tricky. This is one of those instances when you have an up-table ball that's close to a pocket. That's an insurance ball, and that's what she needs. So now I think what she's trying to do, in my opinion, is bring the cue ball back down center table to pocket this stripe ball right here. And the reason is that's a blocker ball for the 14. Look at how the balls lie now. The 3 ball is a key ball to get you on the 14. So that's what she's working on. Once that's accomplished, then you can work on an end pattern to get on your 4 ball. Now, she does something, I think she tried to bump those balls there. I'm not sure if that's the right shot. Obviously, if the cue ball caught this 14, opened them up, and then she has an insurance ball right here, that would have looked like a fantastic shot, and we would have all said, hey, great shot. But it was just a little bit risky. So she chose to go that route, and once again, we're going to need to see some tenacity here, because her only shot is this 5 ball, so it's a bit of a long shot. And the best thing to do, once again, she didn't baby it. Just bring that cue ball back around center table, and then you can work from there. So I hope that the pool table shows up on the screen. I know they changed the camera angle a few times. But once again, this situation still exists. Now she's making sure the 14 does go in this pocket past this ball. I think it does. And so the 3 ball, once again, is your key ball to get on the 14. But she's running out of options. So in my opinion, I think she's trying to come over for that 3 right now. Yeah. So based on the way she stroked that ball, she was trying to get over on the 3, but this is a little bit too much of an angle to hold the cue ball here for the 14. So once again, running out of balls. But we're seeing a lot of tenacity here. She's just, even though things aren't quite working out the way she would prefer them to work out, make the rule number 1 of straight pool, make the ball, don't miss. So once again, trying to come up here to get on the 3 ball. This time, she still has a good bit of angle, but I think it's enough, and she believes it's enough as well, to just kind of tap this in or roll it in and hold the cue ball here to shoot the 14. Now you notice she didn't have to do that. She could have played the 1 ball and played the cue ball just like to here, and then use the 9 to get on the 3, then to get on the 14. But look what happens if you do that. These balls are gone. So if she played 9 and then 3, then this ball becomes her key ball to get on the break shot. So both ways are fine. So she's deciding to do it this way, and she took a look at her angle. I would have liked to drift the cue ball down over here. Then I just have a no rails position. I can stun straight over for that 9. Obviously, the 9 becomes the key ball with the pattern that she's chosen here. But she chose to go 1 rail, bottom rail and out, which is also just fine. You want to make sure you have an angle so you can move the cue ball over where you need it. She did something a little bit different that I wouldn't have done either. I'm going to come closer to straight in on this ball, and the reason is I'm 6'5", and I can stand at the end of the table and reach it. So this is it may look like she's got a lot of angle, but this is perfect for Kristina because she can reach it from the side rail of the table. So a lot of intelligent choices there. The cue ball didn't go quite where she wanted on several shots, but we saw a lot of tenacity. Not getting discouraged, not showing any discouragement at all. Simply keep approaching the table with a positive attitude and make the most of every shot. That's real good tenacity to get through that rack, and she made pretty quick work of that, so let's do another rack. You can see the stats on the screen. I won't talk about those too much. This is early in the rack. You can pause it and take a look if you like. Her break shot, she's just a little bit inside. The cue ball is going to hit the side of the rack. So you could either stroke this with a lot of follow, hoping the cue ball could go to the bottom rail, or kind of a stun shot. And I would hit this pretty hard, but notice what she does. Very controlled stroke. So kind of a stun shot, but the cue ball had a little bit of forward spin. Cue ball didn't even touch a rail, even though it went forward off the rack. Very interesting approach. And this is classic straight pool. She's not trying to open all 14 balls. So just a few balls open below the rack, and there's a problem here. Do you go into the rack here? I think you do. Normally I don't like going into the bottom of the rack, but she had 2 insurance balls. For that reason, I think it was okay. I would have liked to see her shoot that a little bit softer and hold the cue ball more in this area, but there's nothing wrong with this at all. Now she has to go get an extension because she's going to be very stretched out over this rail. But obviously the only shot, well, you could shoot this ball on the side, but I think this is the only shot. In my opinion, what she's trying to do here is catch the 8 so that the 8 can open these balls, and then the cue ball will come off this rail and come up table and give her another shot. Well, she didn't hit it hard enough really for that cue ball to move up table. So she might have been just trying to knock the 8 ball into those and expecting them to kind of open up right here to give her a shot into this pocket. Kind of a risky shot, but once again, the balls didn't behave the way she wanted. So what do? You just gotta employ some tenacity. She's gonna look at the table and make a good decision. She's got a very extreme backwards cut on the 8, a very difficult cut shot on the 15 up here, which leads to nothing, or kind of a straight in shot. But on this 9 ball up here? But what are you going to play next? Well, rule number 1: make the ball. Let's not get carried away with trying to play too much position, and then we end up missing the ball. So she just made sure to make the ball. She's going to deal with it from here. This is a lot of trouble. You have a cluster here, little cluster here, and you've got a ball, up table ball on the rail here. So I from this point, I would say it's a very low percentage chance of getting out, of clearing this rack and getting on a break ball for the next rack. But Kristina proves me very wrong. She's a professional, and she's demonstrating a lot of tenacity. The only shot he has is to shoot this ball past the 8 ball and hard enough to get the cue ball to come twice across the table. to give her another shot on the 8 or the 10 or the 15. That's the champion shot right there. So now, she would have had a shot actually on 4 different balls, the 14 or this 15 or the 10 or the 8. Now from here, you have a choice because she could shoot the 8 and open these balls. And I tell you, I think that's my choice. But she's employing a little more patience here, which is kind of advanced straight pool. She knows she'll be able to deal with these. So she's using the 10 to come straight across and try and create a break shot with the 8 ball as insurance. That's a wise shot. And not only did she create 1 break ball, she created 2. So now she's got options, 2 and the 15. Now there isn't a great key ball for those. Up here was where you'd want a key ball. But she's going to find a way to make this work. So that 1 shot on that 10 really improved the rack. She created a break ball, opened a cluster. Now there's only these 2 balls left. So I'm learning from that. That was a wise choice. I like that. Now, even if she got tied up on this 8, she's got a shot on the 1. And as a matter of fact, she's too straight on the 8 to open the 6, 7 right now. So I think she's going to use the 1 to get an angle on the 8 to open these up. So I'll ask you this. Would you shoot, instead of going straight to the 8, come over here and shoot the 14, knowing it would be very easy to get an angle on the 8 after the 14? I think either way is fine. Now, she chose to leave the 14 there. Personally, I would not have done that. But look at her evaluating options. I really like this. Rather than just walking around and going straight to the 8, she's looking at shooting this 3 because she could shoot the 3 and nudge the 5 this way, expecting these to possibly open up, and, of course, an insurance ball on the 8. I don't think that's a wise shot, and she evaluates it and decides, no, it isn't. Now, I like what she's doing here. You want to go full into this 6, expecting to knock the 6 away and the cue ball to kind of replace it. But she came over the top of it just a little bit and double kissed it, and that can happen. What do? You pull out that tenacity card again. Just deal with the situation you have. Now, she could shoot the 15 and work out a different pattern and use the 2 ball as a break ball. Her only other shot, well, she could also shoot the 2 in the side and try and break them up that way, but that's a really tough shot and a risky shot. The 6-7 is now not that hard of a combination. So I'm not sure if, I think she ran into the 5 ball on purpose. And that's okay if you hit it full, but look what can happen if you don't hit it full. This didn't have to turn out as well as it did. I kind of like from that 6 going straight up at the 14, and then you can just employ your skills to run these remaining balls without running into them. As it is, she's giving us all a lesson in tenacity, and she's going to make it work. I believe I'm not sure if she's chosen the 2 or the 15. I don't remember. Yeah, now compromise stance again, and that's why that ball kind of bobbled. She hit the rail going in, but at that speed, it makes the pocket bigger. So it was a very wise way to play that. From here, she can shoot the 15 or the 2 or the 6. I like her choice of the 6 because she's just going to come 2 rails around, and then you have the 15 or the 5. And then you can make a choice of which one of these balls you want to use as your break shot. Now, based on the speed that she hit that, she wasn't playing position for both of those balls, which is what I would have done. I think she played position specifically for that 5, and that preserves either of these as a break shot. Now, I believe from here she's going to choose the 15, and the reason why is you just hold this cue ball in this area, and then you have the 2 and the 3, either that can be a K2 ball for the other one as key ball. Now, from here, she's choosing the 15. I think I would have chosen the 2, but there's nothing wrong with the 15. From here, I just like stunning the cue ball to here, shoot the 3, and go 2 rails like this for my break ball. I do not like the position she chose because she's going to come 2 rails out of this corner, and the reason why is here's where you want your cue ball, somewhere on that line, and so your position is going across that line. That's really hard to get your cue ball to stop in a good area. So many players I saw try to play that shot at this tournament, and the cue ball ended up traveling all the way over to this rail, and then you just got a real tough shot. But she played it perfect. This is a really good position. Once again, just like the previous rack, This is a high break ball. It's above the spot, and she's got a little bit of an inside angle. So it's an ideal condition. It's not an extreme cut, and it's not a shallow cut. This is a great angle on this break shot. Once again, I think she can go into the top balls, and the cue ball should go to the side rail and across, and you don't want to hit it hard enough to scratch in this side pocket. Boy, perfect alignment. Yeah, perfect delivery. Great break shot. Once again, she didn't try to open all 14. Just get 4 or 5 loose from the opposite side of the rack, trusting in the fact that you're going to get a shot. She's got 3 shots. 1, 2, 3 shots to shoot. Great tenacity and great straight pool knowledge being demonstrated by Kristina Tkach. Once again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next week.